Back in our stomping grounds. That's how it always feels to be back in Mystery Lake anyway. We won't be lingering, though. It's Mystery Lake now, Milton next, and then Far Territory. Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more of The Long Dark in our Against All Odds series. I am going to triple check the environment here. We've got a few books. I might as well grab one just in case I need to start an emergency fire somewhere. But I really don't think I need to do much else with anything here. That bench could maybe be broken down in 20 minutes or so. Let's do that for the wood. For the same emergency fire. And we have this pillow too, which could give us some more cloth. So we are close to the logging camp. Also, do I still have pain from a sprain? I sure do. It looks like it's about to wear off, though, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. Let's head this direction. As I said at the end of the last episode, we are going to kind of bounce between a couple of different locations here. We have, just over these hills, the two forestry lookouts, the original burned-out forestry lookout from the old Mystery Lake map, and then the new one. We also have the logging huts, the 3 logging huts that we haven't visited yet. One thing we haven't done too much of since we arrived, at least on this map, is really search the edges of the map for any prepper caches. Prepper caches have, of course, been spread out a great deal. Right now I'm kind of treating them as incidental finds, because to scour the entire map, again with its increased size, would be a pretty big ask compared to how long it used to take to scour the entire map looking for prepper caches. I'm going to veer this way, and we may as well go on up while we can to the top of the broken lookout, because this is the start of the path right here, although I might be approaching it from a little bit too high of a point. Let's find out. I think this is probably too high. You generally have to start a little bit lower when you're trying to hop straight over these rocks without going down into the clearing. But this might work. We'll see. Okay, let me go over there, but will it let me go down? Oh god. Actually, that's not that bad. It's not that bad at all.
That guy who drank his own pee doesn't seem so crazy right now.
Okay. Minor bruising. We'll take it. Yeah. I've never actually checked when I get the minor bruising affliction to see how that directly affects, if at all, the condition. And sure enough, there wasn't really, I mean, it's probably just a very, very small health loss, but it doesn't actually show on the condition screen. And I've never actually looked before until just now. Like, hey, did that actually show? Minor bruising. Hinterland has discussed over the years adding more psychological types of conditions to the Long Dark. That seems more of the territory that BLACKFROST is going to explore now. BLACKFROST being the Long Dark 2, starting early access in 2026. I should probably drink something. Actually, speaking of emergency fires, I'm going to probably make one up here on top of this particular lookout, because we need some water. I just had to drink some tea to stave off thirst. Did I just hear a bear? Or was that just... It's probably just a creaking tree. Yeah. Not necessarily that tree specifically, but we're going to pretend that it was. I guess one thing I should keep in mind is the same thing I've been reminding myself of, and you about, for most of the series, which is that there really could be more hostile wildlife up here. It's unlikely, but you can't rule it out. I'm working on it, Jennifer. Give me a second. We'll do it in just a bit. All right, pain went away. If we do have an impromptu fire up here, it seems like... First of all, hold on. I've got a revolver. Ooh, looks like I needed to reload this. Glad I noticed that. Alright, so there's some ptarmigan up here. Not only is there probably a... I'm guessing that's over a prop deer. But we've got these ptarmigan, so if I can nab one of these, we could potentially start a fire here, get some feathers, cook some meat, and be in good shape on multiple sort of dimensions. Let me get a little bit closer. That's incredibly rude. You saw me point the dot right at the ptarmigan. You saw me. It was right at the ptarmigan. How dare you, game? See, that's just more evidence that you, in fact, need to use the tip of those sights, not the dot. As much as we might rely on the dot, that thing was on the body of the ptarmigan, and I chose to trust it. I chose to trust it. I was like, you know, I would normally use the middle sight, but I'm going to trust it. That was a mistake. Okay, no ptarmigan meat. We're fine. It does take a long time to actually do that, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. There's a gunsmithing book. Okay. And of course we can break this bench down for some wood once the fire's going, but for now, I guess we can put that away. So rude. More revolver ammo. Thanks, game. Thanks for compensating me for my wasted bullet.
This stuff will come in handy.
Mountaineering rope. Ooh, fur firewood. Very nice. All right, we're going to put the rope down next to the deer carcass, and then we'll spend a little bit of time up here before we head to the next lookout, which is right over there. Not far at all.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Drop that. Also, that's not necessary. Let's go ahead and drop those. Much better. Okay. It is possible to make it all the way up here. Let me double check, make sure there's nothing lootable. Oh yeah, let's just stay on target. How about that? You can actually cross this and get all the way up there, which is fun. I'm not going to worry about it right now. What we're going to do is head back over... Where does this lead? Well, it leads to more firewood, which I'll take. Oh, okay. This is just... I wonder if you could go down this towards the clear cut. I'm not sure what the point would be, but there is that drop in the fence. We're not going to find out today. We're not going to Skyrim down the edge of that particular cliff. It's funny, the community has long used the term goating, you know, down the cliff. Obvious reasons. But I've always said Skyrim because of the the gaming meme. So I kind of alternate between memes. Alright, so wood matches, cattail head, book. That is why I brought the book. Nice 80% fire starting chance, I'll take it. We do still have some reading to do, now that we picked up those additional books. And we have a bunch of other reading material at the dam. Oh.
Well, that didn't work.
That's the last time I praise
My fingers feel numb.
an 80% fire starting chance. Rude.
Come on, little fire.
Little bit more. Okay, there we go. Alright, we do have that one piece of coal, which we'll put on there. All the reclaimed wood. One stick. Now that's going to get nice and warm. So, first thing we'll do is put these down. The main reason we're starting this fire is we need the water. However, we're also going to pay a visit to this prop carcass. The nice thing about this is that we are so far removed from any hostile wildlife up here. that I can do this with a bit more confidence. Just grab the meat, casually walk back to the fire. Feel a bit more relaxed, like you're not playing on a Loper adjacent custom difficulty. Oh, didn't duck when I hit the control button there, and so I almost walked straight into the fire because I kept moving quickly. That's wild. We'll put that down for a bit. The animal fat, moldy venison. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and just pass time till this is ready. We're going to drink that. Might make some tea or coffee as well, mainly for the cooking skill while we have this thing going. But let's first just drink everything we can. I think I will probably do one more. And then we'll start cooking that venison. The fire is plenty hot. Let's drink that. Steak is almost done. So, let's see. Yeah, I need some coffee. Let's go ahead and start making some. Alright, we're going to chow down on this. That will top us off calorie... Well, actually, no, it won't. Not completely. We'll grab that cup of coffee. And now, what we will do is kind of make water with one and coffee with the other. Okay, yeah, don't have enough water to do that. I could eat the pork and beans if I wanted to. Tell you what, let's get some more water going here then. We'll take that. Coffee there. Coffee there. Okay. Starting to run out of actual tins of coffee, which is good. I guess another thing I could do, I don't have to do this per se, but they'll last longer staying warm if I put them there. Cup of coffee. Yeah, let's keep going with the water here. Stick to my guns. Cup of coffee. Getting cooking skill for every single iteration here. Okay. How much time do we have? 3 hours. Don't have a lot of time on the day, though, so that's one thing to keep in mind. Potable water, and we can use that to make these last few coffees. Cup of coffee. One thing I might do is just try and make it up to the forestry lookout and spend the night there, if I can. The weather's actually decent, it's just getting cold and dark, so we're going to try to avoid tempting fate. Potable water. No more coffee. Perfect. So, and we'll put that last cold coffee in there. Alright, 30 minutes until burn. Let's go ahead and drink this. We'll quench our thirst a bit. Get some caloric value. And then what we can do as well, since we drank that warm coffee, let's take a couple of torches off this fire. I wasn't very good about this the last time I left a fire behind. I'll be good about it this time. Just so we have some fresh torches to chain. And yeah, we're going to make our way straight towards that other lookout. I don't think we're even going to use the rope, as tempting as it might be. Yeah, we'll go with that. Let's just head straight back down. And then for the second lookout. And then we'll head down to the logging camps. Then back to the camp office, where I believe I have something that will be very useful to me, given events of the last episode. And then the cabins across the lake. And then Milton. So kind of zigzagging back through the sections of the zone I haven't visited yet. It's not a complete search, because there are still a few locations that I wouldn't have been to. Mainly the hunting blind between the dam and the lake. That's the one I'm thinking of. And then, of course, as I've mentioned just earlier, there's always the possibility that there's a prepper cache here somewhere in a new location, and I just haven't spotted it. If you didn't know that, by the way, if you've returned to the Long Dark recently, I've mentioned it a few times, but if it wasn't clear, the prepper caches, when they did the loot refresh, were spread out across the world. So they're not only in new locations that they didn't exist in before, but you're less likely to find the prepper caches in just, like, the original zones, which is the way it was for years. Prepper caches are... First of all, there's still a set amount of them, but they're really spread out all over Great Bear. And then, of course, the Far Territory kind of had their own caches as well, which I believe are separate, not necessarily included in the same RNG. I'd have to go back and look at the post specifically, because it's been like a year and a half, 2 years since the loot refresh. Okay, need to be careful here, because who knows where that wolf that was just howling actually is. Search backpack. Oh, that's rude. That thing rolled farther than it was supposed to. Okay. Nice. Alright, not seeing... wolves and or bears just yet. I want to try and stay on the higher ground here and then veer off to the right so I can go to the next lookout. I've been hearing howling though, so I know there's a wolf somewhere close by. I'm just not sure where. Getting a little bit nervous. But I also have close to full health, so I'm pretty much okay. Why yes, I did discover the clear cut. Thank you very much. Okay, so if we head up here... That's where we just were. That's actually... That cliff right there is the one we looked down from. It's right about there. So what I want to try to do here is... I think I'm a little bit... I'm a little bit early for trying to scale this. I need to go around this corner and that'll be fine. Might sprain here. I'm going to try not to. Come on, give me a flat edge. There we go. There we go. Oh, by the way, I think I forgot to mention this. That sprain earlier in the series that kind of occurred suddenly right as I was on those train tracks, and I was like, man, I got a sprain in like the split second I had sprain risk. Apparently I had sprain risk the entire time that I was walking on the edge of the train track, and I didn't notice. I had a viewer point that out to me, and I was like, oh. It's funny, like, I think my default attention, especially when recording for YouTube, but even when not, it tends to go to, like what my eyes see under my feet. What am I actually walking on, you know? Alright, I kind of want to go through that arch, but we're going to go up higher first. So, yeah, I don't immediately look to, yeah, see that indicator on the right. I knew that was coming because of the slope we're on.
Need some first aid soon.
You've got some first aid, it's fine. Oh, can I not climb this? Really? Was that just a wasted... Really? That's incredibly... Apparently I can't climb that. Alright.
That smarts a bit.
Alright, let's do some bandages. We might not be able to chain... Oh, yes, we can. Perfect. Just sprained both ankles using the last 2 bandages we have, climbing a cliff that I can't actually climb. Love that. We'll probably sprain on the way back down too, knowing my luck. I just wasted a match because I was a little bit too far from it. Okay. There we go. Yeah, you need to pretty much go through this arch first before you attempt what I was just attempting. I was remembering a path that I took the last time I was here in Against All Odds, and I think I was just thinking about it, like, prematurely. I was trying to scale a certain area that got me up to the base of this, like, sooner. But this arch is always a good indicator that you're on the right path. So far, so good, as far as avoiding the wolves. Grateful for that. Let's keep moving. Alright, so there's an oak tree over there. If I wanted more acorns at any point, those are somewhat nearby. Now, one thing that was definitely the case when this second lookout was added is that every now and then there could be a wolf actually patrolling down the path. I suspect that's probably still the case because that's just an awesome patrol location, and why would you not keep that? But, okay, so this is going to be a little dicey because I don't have a ton of time left on this torch. I can't really throw it right now because it's going to roll right down this slope, and I'm probably going to sprain again here. Yep. That's a wrist sprain at least. I'll take it. Probably get another one, though. If we're lucky, we'll be able to keep this torch. Come on, give me some flat ground. Perfect. And we can keep the torch. How about that? Let's not waste a match. Okay. Not too bad. We can sleep that sprain off. Well, it's going to be a challenge to do that, given that coffee that I drank. But because we have the aurora frequency turned up on this code, we might actually do okay. Because we might just wake up in the middle of the night with an aurora, and then we can travel anyway, because we don't have to go too far. I do want to be mindful of the fact that I don't think rifle bullets are going to take down an aurora wolf, so we'll be careful. But we have that as an option. More ptarmigan. If I want one, if I want to make up for that one that I dropped earlier, well, you know what? That's actually a good enough torch that I can keep. I think the ptarmigan just flew away. Yeah, they did. I think throwing the torch is what spooked them. Oh well. Speaking of aurora, there we go. This is the track that typically plays when you have one, so I'm guessing we're going to have one.
It's getting dark out here. Time to look for shelter.
Looking like a beautiful dusk view of Mystery Lake from the forestry lookout. Very nice. Let's take a quick look around up here, make sure I'm not missing anything. No, there's rocks at the base of the stairwell, and that's pretty much it. First aid kit. Sewing kit. Some rifle ammo. I'll take that. A Summit soda. Cooking skillet. Already have one, but okay. Survive the outdoors. Revolver cartridge. Book. Sewing kit. Dog food. Not bad.
I'm not going to be able to carry
hold on.
this load for much longer.
We've got this metal container as well. Alright, and a wood stove. Okay, I think what I'm going to do here, I might be able to squeeze in an hour of reading here. Let's try that. Not healthy enough to focus on research. Are you kidding me? Because I have a sprain? Oh man, that sucks. Okay, well, tell you what, let's go ahead and repair these at least. Low condition excuse me? Low condition sewing kit. There we go. We can do that one more time, hopefully. It's going to be close. Okay, 78%. Now, whether or not that's better than these gloves, it is. Interesting. Once they're fully repaired, they'll be even better than the wind protection of the fleece mittens, so that's nice. Let's turn on the radio for fun. Okay, still have plenty of cattails, which we're going to save. There are still some cattails out on the lake, too. But let's consume this moist dog food. We've got the cured maple saplings, some green birch saplings that aren't curing just yet. We have a lot of canned goods. Let's go ahead and drop some sewing kits. We'll be somewhat neat about it. Hold on, where is the... There it is. I can get rid of this and that. And this and that. Got 6 wires, extra torch, some rifle shell casings. Okay. We still have the improved rest bonus from drinking that tea, so we should wake up even after just these 4 hours of sleep with, yep, full health. It's the middle of the night, right smack in the middle of the night. I'm going to drink this Summit soda. And I'm also going to chow down on a few of these just to top off our hunger a bit. We have those pork and beans, which in theory I could go ahead and eat. But the nice thing about pork and beans is it's a food item that you can heat, so I want to keep at least one of those in my inventory for emergency situations. Why am I so encumbered? What am I carrying? It's probably the books. I've got a lot of painkillers. One would argue too many painkillers. Okay, we could rip up those gloves. Yeah, it's mainly the books. Oh, I've got the extra skillet. That's one of the main things. Let's drop that. That's a little bit better. I do still have a couple of things of scrap metal on me right now, which I don't need, so let's drop those to shed a few extra pounds. Decorations. See, if you can give us a tab for decorations, you can give us a tab for the freaking insulated flask. Please and thanks, Hinterland. Come on. Please. Pretty please. It's not hard. Let me just do a quick search around here, make sure I'm not missing anything. Cool. So we've got a lovely aurora right in the middle of the night. We're going to leave that radio on for the ambiance. And head down here. It'd be funny if the ptarmigan were back. I would kind of doubt it, but... Oh, wait. Did I hear them? Or was that just the creaking of the... Yeah, that wasn't actually the ptarmigan. Yeah. I think they hang out right here when they are here. Okay, so let's go back down. Next time I'm that close to ptarmigan, I will not be throwing any torches, because that is definitely what scared them. In the same way that throwing a rock would attract the attention of a wolf, that noise was close enough that it ran them off. Still salty about that revolver shot, though. So what I'm going to do is pretty much beeline. I just thought of one more location I haven't checked yet, and it makes sense that I might be able to check it now. I'm going to grab this since I'm looking at it. The extra steak. Alright, so that's one location I haven't searched. I also haven't searched the derailed train cars down below. Need to be mindful of the wolf I mentioned a moment ago. So yeah, let's take a quick look around, shall we? I don't have any bandages, so I want to try not to sprain right here. Thanks, game. Not only does it sprain me, it sprains my wrist. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you so much. Now I have to craft some bandages. Thankfully, it's not too cold right now. Okay. Add to radio. Can't exactly hold a rifle up with a sprained wrist, now can I? Okay. So we've got that prop deer right there, and potentially some more loot. I'm going to stay low to the ground just in case there's a wolf over to the right, but there's not one here on the left, which is nice. Alright, I don't think that's a wolf over there, that's a rock. Okay, let's get up. Because at this point, I mean, look, if I get hit by an aurora wolf right here, it wouldn't be the end of the world. I would lose a lot of health. I'd be upset about it. But it probably wouldn't kill me. Especially because I would try to get at least one round in it first. Okay. Check the metal container. Nothing. Revolver ammo. Check the corpse. Nothing.
Starting to feel numb.
We're going to quickly light this. Just to really make sure that I'm checking the entire... Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. Not a lot in here. Okay. Now I am tempted to go further that way. But we're going to hold off. Okay. Let's head back to the camp office, which is right around the corner of that rock. Alright, starting to get kind of cold. I wonder if the insulated flask... No, it's cold. Yeah, that nap I took. That nap I took that away from me. That's okay, though. If I had drank some before the nap, I wouldn't have been able to nap for as long. That is a rock. Alright, there's some sticks on the ground, which I should probably pick up a few. This is an oak tree, so we'll grab these acorns. Might lose a little bit of condition here, but it's okay. We're going to head back to the camp office, just for the save point.
Cold.
And then next destination, we still didn't visit the logging. Hello? I just heard an exhale. Still didn't visit the logging huts. Oh, that's a moose. That is an actual moose. That is an actual moose. I need it to turn toward me, though. That is a moose. That is a moose. It's not even aurorified. Not sure why it's not aurorified. Oh, the aurora went away. That's why. That's a moose. That's a moose. That's a moose. Moose, turn toward me, please. And please don't, like... The only thing that sucks about this is that I'm cold, which is going to reduce the accuracy of my shots. Missed him. Missed him again. But we did hit him. Oh, wait. He gave up. Alright. Let's get you a little closer, Moose. You came at a perfect time. Really? Got him. Got him. That's it. I thought that last one had him. Well, that's one heck of a tense way to end an episode. Okay, we have a moose. Hang on. I got some casings to pick up. Holy shit. Use some rounds there, but worth it. I don't even think that's all the casings, to tell you the truth. We have a moose. Unbelievable. So close, too. So that's a ton of meat. We're going to get the save point first. That's a ton of meat. That's a moose hide. We have a moose hide satchel. Sooner than expected. It'll take some time to cure, but we can go to Milton while it's curing. And then we can come back here for it before we go down to the Forlorn Muskeg. One of the and also to Broken Railroad. One of the best things about what just happened, if it's not super obvious, I don't actually think that the Moosehide Satchel would appear randomly in HRV, but that's one of the reasons you would go to HRV at this point, if you didn't have one. But now that we have that Moosehide, that's one more reason to go straight to the far territory, which I will freaking take. But for now, let me go ahead and sleep for about 2 hours. We'll get that health back. We'll get the energy back. We will get the save points. And in the next one, that pain is still not worn off. It will in 40 minutes. In the next one, we will take care of that moose carcass while also getting ready to head to the logging camp and then to the huts around Mystery Lake, not necessarily in that order. And then it's straight into Milton, which will be the last sort of loot-dense area that we check out before heading to the far territory after grabbing our moose hide on the way back through here. That was one heck of a find. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. For early episodes, channel emotes, and member badges, look for the join button. New episodes will be arriving at 1 p.m. US Eastern Time every other day, and comments are always welcome, so leave your thoughts below, and I'll see you next time.